Hello, this is a video about general tips and guidelines that you might want to follow when you start a hardcore character. This video is for the casual players that play a few days a week, a few hours a day. This is not somebody that, is really into gaming, really hardcore players. They're probably going to move a lot faster than what I would suggest. So in part one of this video, what we're going to go over is just the general concepts and ideas, and then part two, I'm going to actually go specifically talking about the wizard and caster classes. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is elective mode. And this is something that all Diablo players should know, but it seems that it hasn't gotten a lot of attention and a lot of players still don't know about it. So if you hit escape, go to options, and under gameplay you'll see elective mode, and it says enable full customization of skills selections placement on your action bars. So if I unselect that, which is what the default is, when you go into your skills menu, you'll notice that you can only select these four abilities. But if I go ahead and turn on elective mode and hit accept, return to game, and I go to skill, now you have the option of going into the different tabs. So if I don't want magic missile and I want ray of frost as something that I would want to use instead, I can go ahead and select that. So now I have two skills from the secondary tree. So as you progress through the game from nightmare to hell, you might have certain times when you need more defense skills, more offensive skills, and by turning on elective mode you're able to do that. So that's something that you should know about, and definitely have in your as a list of options as you play the game. The second thing we're going to talk about next is health. Obviously you can't die, because once you die you lose your character. So even from a very early stage you want to start thinking about getting gear that has vitality in it. Definitely by Act 3 and 4 you would want to have a lot of gear with vitality. There are a lot of things that teleport, and by Act 4 there are a lot of bosses and a lot of swarming mobs. So I would suggest probably before you get to Diablo you would want to have somewhere between 3.5 and 4k health. And that's not really hard to get to. It's just go ahead and looking for the gear that has vitality in it. And speaking of gear, the third thing that we're going to talk about is when you have gear that you level that has vitality and has the main stat you're looking for, like for caster classes it would be intelligence and just pure damage. You want to actually offload that onto another toon and save that character or save that gear for your next character, because when you play hardcore long enough you're eventually going to lose a character. So when you lose a character you don't want to go recreate a new character with nothing. You always want to have gear available so that the next character you power up will have a much easier time. So never sell your weapons, never sell the good gear that you could use to level your next character. So in saying so, what I would suggest is that as soon as your first character gets out of normal going into nightmare, you probably want to start playing your second character that could take over if you lose your first character, nightmare. So if your primary character is level 30, you might want to start working on your second character and get it to level 10 to 15 and just have it kind of be 10 to 20 levels behind it. It'll make the transition a lot easier if you lose your primary character and you have to start over with your secondary character. The next thing I'll talk about is whether to spend your money crafting or going to the auction house. And from my experience, I think going to the auction house is way better for how you want to spend your money, because it is so random on what you get when you craft gear that you end up wasting a lot more money, in my opinion. So I would rather go to the auction house and just buy gear that for stats that I specifically want. The only thing that I would buy from an NPC vendor, or early on I would buy these rings. At level 8 these rings are really good, and they allow you to get a little edge on your DPS to help you level past normal a lot quicker. And they're cheap, and like I said again, I would say, and once you buy them, I would save these rings, offload them to another character, and then use them as you need to. You're probably better off spending your money in the auction house rather than going ahead and upgrading your stash. You probably want the first entire tab completely filled out. That's relatively cheap. But to go to your second tab, which is about 100k, and then 10k again for each subsequent row, it just gets very expensive, and that 100k really could be better off spent in the auction house getting you the gear needed to make your life easier, normal, and nightmare. Once you get into nightmare and the gold drops become a lot larger, then you might want to consider going ahead and getting your second tab. I haven't even bothered going with my third tab, considering it costs 200k. I'd rather just spend that money on gear. So that one's that's personal opinion on that one. But like I said, I'd rather have the gold go towards gear than making my stash bigger. And if I need to offload any leveling gear or anything that I might sell, I can just create right now another toon and fill up level 1 toon with gear that I kind of want to stow away. I don't really have too many hardcore characters built, and I don't really play softcore, so I'm able to do that. If you play a lot of softcore, then you might not be able to do that. But that wraps up part 1 of this video, and I hope this was helpful to you.